Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
I'm still waiting. I keep a very watchful eye on the Queensland Police Service, and I'm still waiting for them to implement the changes that were recommended in the inquiry last year when they had the inquiry into how the Queensland Police Service, my former place of work, how they handle domestic violence incidents, the issues that they've had with misogyny, sexism, racism. Now there was a lot of talk about changes that needed to be made. The commissioner stood up and, after, initially not wanting to attend the inquiry because who knows why she felt she was above it or something. She really poo-pooed the whole situation, but she kind of got dragged, digging her heels in all the time. And in the end, the inquiry did not have anything really good to say about her organisation that she leads. So anyway, I'm still waiting to see if they're going to implement any of the changes, any of the recommendations. Still doesn't look like it's going to happen. And we're still seeing incidents where the QPS are just failing dismally. Officers are failing the people that they're supposed to be serving. And before we go any further, let's watch this video together. You'll probably just be dismayed if you haven't seen it already. Anyway, this was a domestic violence incident that a couple of officers attended. And then when they were in the car, the two of them, they made some very lewd, just absolutely ridiculous comments about the alleged victim, because apparently they got to see her in a bit of a state of undress, and they were very impressed, apparently. And this conversation was recorded and then sent by mistake, obviously, but then sent to this victim. It's a bit, anyway. And then I think what's even more amazing is the response from the leadership. And this is why Queensland Police Service, Katarina Carroll, she needs to go, and the leadership team, it needs to be changed. Anyway, check this out.
Culture within the state's police force and its handling of domestic violence victims. A recording has revealed two police officers making comments about a woman's naked body after attending a domestic violence incident.
Two police officers have been caught allegedly making lewd comments after attending a domestic violence incident on the Gold Coast. The conversation was accidentally recorded and sent to the female victim as a voicemail in May last year.
I saw it on the body wall.
Oh, she was naked.
Yeah.
Great.
Shark, I said.
No pants or nothing.
No. When she was inside the house, she took her gown off and she was just walking around with no clothes on.
Shark,
I said.
Health Minister Shannon Fentiman has condemned the officers' behaviour, arguing it could deter domestic and family violence victims from coming forward.
It is disgusting, it is offensive. This is why we had a commission of inquiry into the culture of police when handling domestic and family violence cases. There was huge recommendations and reform, much of which is underway, but clearly...
Yeah, huge recommendations. They could have changed. They could have really pushed ahead with these recommendations. But this lady here, she can stand there and blame everyone else. She's part of the problem. Her and her boss, Palaszczuk. These recommendations have not gone ahead. They could, this is one thing I learned when working for government. If they want something to happen, they can make it happen quick, very quickly. But if they're dragging their heels, they really could not give a damn. That's just the facts. And the fact is, they've got Katarina Carroll. They do not want to bulldoze her. Can't bulldoze a fellow female. Can't make her look bad, but she's part of the problem. Changes need to happen. Anyway, continue listening to this. Remember Fentiman? This is the one who said, if a man stands up and says that he's a female, well, then he is a female. She's a real bright spark.
Clearly, there is still a cultural issue.
Gold Coast Police became aware of the incident in November. Disciplinary action was taken earlier this year. The two officers received managerial guidance in regards to their conduct. The officers are still working and could still be responding to domestic violence incidents.
Yes, it concerns me, and again, I would ask the Commissioner of Police to make some comments about the disciplinary proceedings that those officers will face.
Queensland Assistant Commissioner says police are only human and sometimes make pretty bad mistakes. Criminologist Terry Goldsworthy is concerned senior police are playing down the incident.
I think this is more than a mistake. This is exhibiting, certainly for those two officers, that this is the kind of cultural approach they have to DV offenders. And
Now, he's exactly right. This is the very type of incidents that they were investigating, that the inquiry was looking into last year. This is the very type of incident that they were talking about, that they were discussing, saying that this is where the Queensland Police Service are failing. And yet all this assistant commissioner did was make an excuse. Oh, they're only human. Crikey.
DV victims, so I don't think it's necessarily a mistake.
A report of inquiry into Queensland Police's handling of domestic and family violence was handed down in November last year. It found decades of misogyny, sexism and racism in the police force, making 78 recommendations, all supported by the state government.
There is no room for this type of culture. To write it off as a bad mistake and, they didn't realise wasn't disconnected, I think almost condones it to some degree.
Yeah, so absolutely ridiculous. I mean, he's right. That was Dr. Terry Goldsworthy. Precious. He's exactly right. It's ridiculous, the fact that they can just write it off as saying, yeah, they've just made this mistake. We've had this inquiry last year. The inquiry found that the Queensland Police Service need an absolute overhaul. And they need an overhaul from the leadership down. They need to make some serious changes. Over a year, they still haven't implemented. What have they implemented that's actually going to bring about change? There's nothing that I've been able to see. When they say police are only human and sometimes make some pretty bad mistakes, that's what Assistant Commissioner Brian Swan said. And yeah, people do make bad mistakes, but is that really the line that you want to go down with, Assistant Commissioner? They're only human. They make some. Surely, you go through all this training, and you can't think, well, hey, maybe this isn't the way I talk about other people. And you know what the problem is? It's a sense of entitlement within the police force, the police service. Sorry, it's not a force, it's a service. There's a sense of entitlement. And it's entitlement and arrogance. That's what I've found. And this attitude that they can get in and, wow, let's just check out the body on the, forget the fact that the lady has just gone through a very possibly very violent ordeal. I don't know. I don't know. And yet, the leadership. I've been saying it for so long. To be honest, I'm tired of saying it. They need to change. They need a change in their leadership. This is the problem when you don't have proper leadership. You only have people who are managers. You've got just a plethora of employees within there who have only learnt to manage situations. They're not actual leaders. They're not proper leaders. They don't know how to be leaders. They're just like the Assistant Commissioner Swan. He's just managing a situation. That's all they look at it. We're just managing a situation. It's time for some actual leaders to step up within the QPS, the Queensland Police Service. It's time to ditch the current leadership, quote unquote leadership, because I don't think they're actual leaders. Just got a bunch of managers. Anyway, please let me know what you think. I think it's just disgusting behavior. Anyway, nothing would surprise me these days. Anyway, I'm Jay Fallon. This is still the slippery slope. Thanks for listening. And all this obviously is just my opinion.
They just fuel the desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's going